Nowadays, competitive shooters are becoming more and more geared towards a younger audience. Apex is for Zoomers who dry scoop G Fuel.
Oh my god!
Fortnite is for literal fetuses.
Oh, what a play!
And even now, in 2022, we have actual teenagers competing in, and in some cases, winning CSGO majors.
Jax surely can drop it. Oh, but he's been fumbling with his nades, and they both line up for him. 2 more headshots for the tally, and Bit puts G2 down in the dumps.
As things get more elaborate and fast-paced, the players who are a bit older can find themselves out of their element in a genre they practically birthed. But there are still old-timers out there who enjoy a challenge. Those who aren't deterred by the skill of the middle schoolers who are coming for their crown, but inspired by it. Meet Perry2N, the Cali-raised breakdancing-boomer who has recently been making waves as a Valorant content creator. Not for nutty flicks or outrageous one-taps, but mathematical lineups and methodical mind games that he uses to turn his weaknesses into strengths.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Perry! Let's go, Perry! Let's go!
So how did your run-of-the-mill CSGO boomer turn into a radiant Stim Daddy main? What pushed Perry to throw himself into the world of memes and content creation? And, most importantly, how have his infamous mollies become every player's worst nightmare?
Oh, don't tell me I'm playing against f***ing Perry, dude.
Alright, so before we get into the video, I wanted to let y'all know that we got new merch. If you can't touch grass IRL, you can do the next best thing and get a hoodie that reminds all your friends to do it for you. And even if grass isn't your thing, head over to shop.thescore.com and check out all of the designs, because we got a few, and they're all cool. Alright, so before our 30-year-old cat lover was melting minds with his murderous molly methods, he was busting moves across SoCal under the alias Perry2Nice. That's right. On top of being a capital G gamer, Perry had an actual hobby that took him outside to touch actual grass. Or, well, the waxed floors of a high school gym. But outside of his b-boy escapades and inside CSGO servers, Perry dropped the ICE from his name and injected it straight into his veins as a no-nonsense opper.
I hear steps. Nice.
Yes, you killed him. Nice.
Top mid down.
A-ramp, A-ramp.
Yeah. Lit 28, A-ramp.
I hit him.
He's on stairs. He's on stairs.
Nice.
Oh snap, I'm warm now.
Despite hitting Global Elite during his younger days, Perry never managed to break into the pro scene. So after years of trying and failing to make it in Counter-Strike, Perry swapped over to Overwatch. As a Grandmaster Reaper main, Perry combined the creativity of his breakdancing days and the wisdom of his steadily advancing years to shoot people in the face. But as skillful as he was in both CSGO and Overwatch, something was missing for Perry. When Valorant first came out, Perry thought he'd finally found a game that spoke to his talents. The thing is, at first, his age had actually caught up with him.
First character I think I got my hands on was actually Phoenix. And again, it's the same thing with like the duelist role. Like I found early on that I just couldn't really go toe to toe with, because I'm not in my prime anymore. And my rifling's kind of like, it's like passable, but it's not like cracked as people say these days.
Perry eventually bounced off of duelists since, well, in addition to being way too based for that shit, he was too old. So, being a boomer of above average intelligence, Perry ironically took it upon himself to start mastering Valorant's ostensibly senile, smoke-deploying strategist, Brimstone.
They think I'm an old dog? I'll show them just how many tricks I know.
And Perry quickly noticed something about Brim's incendiary ability that others seemingly didn't. It didn't disintegrate. You see, in CSGO, mollies can't be thrown over long distances. If they're in the air for more than 2 seconds, they explode into nothing, inflicting 0 damage. This means that lineups can only be used in close to medium proximity from the area one intends to hit. Brim, on the other hand, can launch his molly from anywhere. The issue is that, useful as he was, Brim was sort of seen as a boring agent. Players understood his practicality, but the consensus was that he just wasn't as fun or flashy as an Omen or a Jet. But to Perry, Brim wasn't just useful, he was broken.
I think I found Molly lineups really early on in beta. It was like a pretty interesting mechanic, and the mollies last like super long, do a crap ton of damage, right? Like, I don't think you can even tank half the molly if it's already landed on the bomb. I'm on the older side. I'm like a boomer playing Brimstone, so like, you know, I don't have like the crazy zoomer mechanics anymore. So that like, it's just another way to win, and I don't think a lot of people recognize that.
After that eureka moment, Perry took to custom servers, put on his lab coat, and started experimenting like the ancient nerd that he was. He planted the bomb in various default positions and began innovating increasingly intricate lineups around the map. Eventually, Perry could land a molly on the bomb from just about anywhere. And once in the server, that 8-second molly combined with Brim's ult made defusing it damn near impossible.
He mollied long. He's gotta be long. He's gotta be long.
Reloading.
Oh yeah.
No, get it!
No.
I tried, man. Dude, that thing takes so long, man.
Perry didn't let his successes get to his head, though. He knew that his mechanics weren't what they used to be, and that trying to keep up with all of these twitchy and Jet abusers was an uphill battle. So he played to his strengths. Once the bomb was down, Perry got the hell out of Dodge and let the flames do all the work. This stroke of genius helped Perry climb the ranks all the way to Radiant. And as any Valorant player knows, once you start making your way into Radiant lobbies, you're playing with some of the biggest names in not only the competitive world, but the streaming one. And although most people didn't really know Perry's name at first, let me tell you, they learned it pretty fucking fast.
You know when my team is getting absolutely railed by Perry, it's a team diff.
No, man. What the f***? This motherfucker had a molly?
78 on Timber.
One enemy remaining.
Nice. I'm getting on it. I'll stick.
Alright.
Last
Bro, don't tell me I'm playing against fucking Perry, dude.
God damn, Perry.
I swear to God, Perry does not do this good on a normal basis.
Dude, Perry's LeBron. He not only IGLs his games, but he has molly lineups.
This Brimstone has every single lineup I've ever seen.
Perry approached Valorant with sort of a novel mindset. He won rounds without fragging. With Brim's ult and Perry's many molly post-plant options, he could clutch outpost plants without firing a single bullet. And to some people, that was very, very aggravating.
Yo, dog now.
Bro, you're a f***ing nerd, bro.
You're a f***ing nerd.
Oh my god. No way! Dude, that guy is so cringe!
Imagine putting in all the hard work it takes to retake a site, only to see your efforts thwarted by a flaming tennis ball. But to his credit, Perry wasn't just winning rounds with mollies and ults alone. At the end of the day, Valorant is about shooting. And even though Perry couldn't quite click heads with the best of them, he created his own unique approach.
Too long, one.
Open up the sky! Smoke's down.
Good.
Down and out.
Okay, bro.
One enemy remaining.
Okay.
Spike down.
Okay.
Perry had plenty of experience with shotguns from his days as a Reaper main. In fact, the reticle on the Judge is nearly identical to Reaper's akimbo sawed-off thingies, which really helped. If Perry was past his days of taps and sprays, he could pick up the shotty and just send it instead. And trust me when I say that a caked up Brimstone with a f***ing 12 gauge is the last thing that anyone expects.
No, Brim plays U-Haul with the Judge every round.
Brim and Raze.
He has a f***ing shorty on mine!
That being said, every once in a while, Perry still goes back to his CS roots and throws down with an op.
Taken down.
Fire in the hole!
Down.
You're different.
Now, let's make something very clear. Perry using shotguns and ops isn't just another way for him to crutch himself out of a fair fight. It's actually quite the opposite. There's a good reason people don't expect a Brim with a shoddy or sniper rifle. It's a bad idea. Brim doesn't have a dash or any kind of get out of jail free card the way that agents who usually op and use shotguns do. So if a Brim plays aggressively, they can quickly find themselves twisting in the wind. But Perry is a grown man with a mature, sophisticated logic, and his answer to that conundrum was simple. Don't miss.
Most of the time when I pull that out, everyone starts to freak out. They're like, "Oh, why are you doing that? You should be doing that on Jet, or we already have an op. It's on Jet."
Their f***ing Brimstone is hopping. That's what we were doing when we first got back to the game, Chad. People were like, "You're hopping on Brimstone?"
But then like I came from CS:GO, so like it was pretty common to play like on CT side with two ops, for instance, on like a specific map like Mirage. So that's why I was super comfortable with it, even though I don't have like an escape mechanic on Brimstone because he's like really slow. He has no dash or whatever. But yeah, pretty confident in that first shot.
10 seconds left.
Out of charges.
Spike down A. One enemy remaining.
No, not the no scope. No.
But for all of Perry's triumphs, he still has his haters. See, as inspiring as Perry's quest to the top ranks of Valorant may seem, he is kind of the antithesis to all of Valorant's unwritten rules. He plays aggressively as a controller, uses weapons he shouldn't, and worst of all, he's a lineup Larry.
Does he have a molly lineup?
Bravo.
Look at this nerd. Look at this nerd. Oh my god.
Bro,
oh, you're
ops on Brim and shit.
He ops on Brim. You got the molly lineup.
He op shorty molly lineups on Brim.
At its core, memes be damned, Valorant is about shooting people in the face. So a lot of these brain-dead Reyna and Chamber mains get a sour taste in their mouth when they lose out on a round because some nerd used his noggin to launch a fireball across the map. But Perry couldn't care less if the kiddies out there find him cringe or boring. In fact, it's quite the opposite. As a content creator, Perry has leaned into the meme, and even revels in the idea that his Brim lives rent-free in Zoomers' minds everywhere.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Perry2N, and I'm one of the first Brimstone mains to hit Radiant using molly lineups, Judge, Op, and Shorty.
What's more, Perry is just so damn good at what he does that even the saltiest, most Valorant accent shitters out there can't help but admire him.
I'm in TP like long or something.
Open up the sky.
Oh, I love this guy.
Harry, you
Perry, you are the best in this video game, bro.
Dude, I've seen that so many times. It's amazing. It's so fun to watch.
And as frustrating as it may be to be on the receiving end of it all, it's hard to shame a guy for outsmarting his opponents and pioneering a strategic playstyle that plays to his strengths. In Counter-Strike, players are revered for coming up with sick meta-altering lineups. Why should it be any different in Valorant? On top of that, it's not as if what Perry's doing is somehow unfair or overpowered. He's just taking an underappreciated ability and maximizing its potential.
Brimstone molly lineups are so insane. They're so underrated. I feel like anytime we run a Brimstone, we would try to get into a post-plant situation with the Brimstone molly, because 9 times out of 10, you're winning that because Brimstone mollies are insane. I've always been a strong advocate of Brimstone molly lineups. I think they're insane, and you know, hats off to anyone who's actually spent the time to really learn some cool Brimstone molly lineups.
Perry is uniquely creative. From breakdancing to memeing to mollies, he simply uses his imagination to excel at the things he loves.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Perry. Let's go, Perry. Let's go.
You see, Perry isn't some dinosaur styling on kids half his age by doing geometry homework on the server. I mean, he is doing that. He's just not that old. And on a serious note, we can learn a lot from Perry. He proves that you don't need to be an aim god to win rounds. You can be past your prime and still succeed, because there is no definitive right way to outsmart one's opponents. Regardless of your limitations, real or imaginary, there's always a way to get where you want to go. Sometimes all it takes is a bit of patience, commitment, and creativity. So don't hate the Perry, hate the game.
Yeah, he got it.
Concentrate, Sova.
Holy shit, he won it.
That's epic. I love that. I can only respect that.
Demand a fight.
Like, imagine being a Reaper main. Like, what the f do you even do with that? I know there was a time when he was like a lot better, but like, oh shit, they picked Farah. I'm not even throwing shade. I just like, I respect it. The man hit GM playing a Reaper. Unbelievable. Genuinely unbelievable. How? Crazy.